All right. Can you hear me?
Okay, you should be able to hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Let me give me a minute here. We'll get the stream going.
What are you blasting live into the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Are you able to share, to grab
Yeah,
the share?
I should be able to. Let me try. Yeah. You want me to share?
Yeah, go right ahead. We're almost live. All right, it looks like we're live and ready to rock and roll. Welcome, everybody. It's Josh with a very special guest, a very longtime friend. Many of you may know him from our previous venture, or you may know him from other things as well, inside real estate, conversion, etc. The special guest we have for you today is Ryan Hartman. And Ryan is going to walk through some new school ways that we can generate listings and referrals with old school postcards. It's a pretty cool, relatively new platform that is really powerful. It's something that I've been using. We'll get into how and maybe even some examples. And something that I would highly recommend you all consider checking out and play around with, kick the tires, if you will. And we'll show you how you can do that very easily, and even try it out for free. So without further ado, let's get into some new school ways to generate listings and referrals with old school postcards.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Hey, everybody. You can see the screen, I assume, with the slides on it?
It looks like we're good to go.
Good. Okay. So, yeah, in the interest of transparency, Josh, thank you for allowing me to come on to more or less pitch my startup and to demo it. But I think there's going to be some really relevant content in these slides that you guys can use whether or not you decide to use the platform or not. And I'm basically just going to walk through quickly what it is. I kind of don't have, I might as well just do that. But I want to make sure at the end we'll give you the link. But the platform is called Banks.io. Sign up through the link we give you at the end because you'll be able to get free cards for being a Client Alchemist member and things like that. But the first thing I want to show off is one of our newest features. Josh, I don't know if you've had time to check this out yet.
I've seen it. I haven't actually experienced it, but I am familiar with it.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my brother's conversion site here. I have it kind of set up as a demo. And when I get here, it's going to do this kind of pop-up up at the top right. And I haven't used Zoom's annotation drawing thing in a while, but let me try to use it. Right up here, boink, where it says allow or block, right there. And one of the cool things we just added to Thanks.io, which is a postcard service, we'll get into more of the postcards in a second, but I want to show this off, is if somebody lands on your website, you can now click allow. If the person clicks allow, and we're seeing a high number of people do that. They just kind of click it to get it out of the way, and they're like, whatever, and they click it. It'll now shuttle your address into the
Sorry.
into the dashboard.
Sorry about that. I'm pulling it up so I can answer and engage with comments in the group.
Cool. Yeah. So here I'm in the Thanks.io dashboard, and you'll see where it has now shuttled in an address right here. And it's done it here on this demo. So basically what it does is it looks for a Wi-Fi connection, and if it finds it, it pushes the address of the person visiting your site into your database. So very cool stuff. This is all done with a little piece of code right here that's just injected on your site. And automatically, as these addresses are added, you can start to send postcard campaigns. You can either send one card, you can send multiple cards, you know, and do some really cool stuff. So I'm going to talk about the campaigns themselves in a few minutes, but just know that you could do that. Up on the screen here, I have, it might be kind of small to see, but an example of a card you might send is, hi, thanks for visiting my site the other day. If you'd like a full detailed analysis of the value of, and I have address in there, you can merge in address, feel free to text or call. Or if you'd like to hear about the best investment opportunities I know about right now, I'd be happy to share details, and then basically give your name, you know, your signature in the card. And one of the key defining features with Thanks Josh, and I know you've been using this too, is this handwriting right here.
Yes. Yeah.
So this, you know, I've gotten a bunch of these cards myself as we've tested and sent myself a bunch. It's very hard for the user to tell at first glance, even looking closely, that this is not actually handwritten by you. So the whole point here, you know, Josh, you're a hardcore direct response marketer, is to just get the open, so to speak, like the email open, and to get the lizard brain, you know, in somebody's head to actually read the message you're sending. So they pick up the postcard, and
it feels personalized, right? And even if and when they realize it isn't, it's still cool. It still stands out. Yeah.
You just want to get that darn thing read. So whatever message you send, you know, for 39 cents a card in this example, it gets through. So this is an example of a retargeting postcard, right? They were on your website, and just like you would show a Facebook ad or a Google ad with a retargeting message, well, we're now retargeting with a postcard in the mail. So Josh, I'll let you riff maybe some other time. You know, we could go all day on ways that you would get traffic to a page like this, but the possibilities are endless, and I'm sure you have training inside of Client Alchemist, you know, about that.
Yep, absolutely.
Another possible use with postcards, an old school kind of deal, would be automatic birthday, or one of my favorite ideas, closing anniversary cards. So the example on the screen here says, happy anniversary. Can you believe it's been 1 year since you closed on your house at address? Give me a ring if you're ready to buy an investment property. So again, it's just a touch. I think in this case, you know, a lot of people don't remember, oh yeah, I did close a year ago, right? And what you can do with Thanks.io is actually upload mailing lists or manually add people as their home closes, and set their closing date, set their birthday as the closing date. So let's just see, birthday demo. So say you put all your closing dates in here. And we have this built in. You see, Josh, where it says DOB? This information you could do for any date of the year, and then you can send a campaign based on this date. So we figured when we built it that birthdays would be the most common use. But for real estate, you could put the closing date in there. And then I can go into the campaigns, and I can say that anybody who lands on my sort of closing date or birthday list, I want to send this image template and this message template, and my style is that I want it to go out on that birthday. I realize is that a little abstract, Josh? But this kind of works.
Well, no. So Lisa is one of our members, and she's actually been collecting birth dates from her database very strategically. So that would be a great way that you could leverage that information, Lisa. But you know, I think it's a great idea that anniversary date kind of thing. I think it's fantastic, and it's one thing. So though you may not know the client's birth date, right? You know, that would be harder to come by. You all can make note of the closing date, right? That's information you all have ready access to. Yeah.
And you could go back in your past clients and do this. And I'm not really showing here, but all you really do is you build a message template and an image. So you kind of make it one time, just like you would with a drip email. You make your template, and then it would go out on their birthday every year. And you know, you could come in here once a year and change the actual birthday card, or let it run from year to year. They probably don't even remember the last year's design, and you've got a really, you know, nice touch. Another thing you can do in the same campaign is send somebody something on Christmas, Easter. We have a bunch of holidays in here. possibilities are endless. So for past client, sort of touches, we've got some automation there. Next thing I'll show is manually adding expireds and FSBOs. Josh, you and I met over something called Expiromatic. It must have been almost 10 years ago now. Right? Where we were trying to do this, I think, right? In some version. Yep, I'm sorry, your audio isn't that great, so I wasn't sure if, can everybody hear me still? Let me see here.
Was that me? Is that better now?
That is better now.
Yeah,
thanks.
something went. You're fine. Everybody's heard you fine the whole time. I think it was my microphone.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we met over this Expiromatic idea. We were trying to send automatic expired cards. I think it worked pretty well. And what you're seeing on the screen here is sort of a riff on that, where you would add an expired listing, and this would be a manual process if you're using something like RedX or something, and you want to make sure you get something out in the mail. You would manually add expireds to a multi-card campaign, and you have to manually take them off. But if you work expireds and FSBOs heavily, I know some of you guys might follow Mike Stott and what he does. You can basically get a card in the mail and says something like, I have this really ugly design, which I think worked best. It says, do you still want to sell, with some clip art? And it says, I noticed you had address for sale, 1 Main Street for sale, and it went off the market, ? Are you still thinking about selling? I might have a buyer, right? Which is true, you might. And then you have your name and cell number right there. So again, very personal. Looks like you whipped it out and wrote it up. So you could do easily, just like I just showed you the multi-card campaign there. It would take you probably an hour to build 3 or 4 messages, right, in our image and message templates. You can reuse the same image over and over again. I have some kind of examples here from demos I've done. And then just change the message if you want. So you can make one stock image that's just kind of you with your logo and your company, and then just send a different message out in a campaign to different expireds and FSBOs. Got it, Josh? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Now, I can't remember. Do you have in the slides here more about the campaigns and how that works?
Yeah, I think I should. I think once we walk through the 5 main ideas, I'll go in and build out a campaign.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because it's really critical. The way it works is that anytime somebody's added to a mailing list, and there's so many different ways you can add to a mailing list, you can create a campaign. I think what we'll do for the last 10 minutes, Josh, I'll just walk you through each page in the dashboard so everybody gets a real good idea.
Perfect.
So manually add expireds and FSBOs. Next one here is the age-old sending farming cards to your target farm. And this is kind of old school farming here, but we're putting a little twist on it in a couple of different ways. One way is that building a farming list is pretty easy. And Josh, I think this is kind of how you've used the system, right?
Yes. Well, yes. Building a list, but not necessarily for farming, but sending basically just listed type of messaging.
Okay. So just listed type. So I can go to add a new list. I can go select from a map, and I can type pretty much any address in. So this is kind of like it's finding where I am right now. And I can just say, hey, I want to do this neighborhood right here. Draw a little square. That might not be the best example. This is a good one. And right away, it found 854 addresses, and I can go ahead and create a mailing list for those addresses. Like so. And I can either send cards that say, hey, do you want to sell? And I'm sorry, I thought I had an example in here. I must have missed it. But the typical message would be, hi, there's a couple ways you can go. Hi, I have a number of buyers in the area who are frustrated. Are you thinking about selling your house? You guys could come up with a couple of different angles like that. And just send a quick little farming postcard.
You could send our just sold offer, right? Curious what your neighbor's home just sold for? Get a free weekly list of all the just sold homes in your neighborhood. Go to and a link to the landing page. Yeah, which, by the way, you could also populate with the address sniffer thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you get them both ways. Exactly. Yep. So, use a vanity domain name like 33711homevalues.info or something like that. Redirect them over to whatever page you're using. Another use for this as you're building cards building mailing lists on the fly would be to send the traditional kind of old school seasonal thing, like, and this Justin, one of the co-founders, he kind of built up a whole year's worth of cards on this landing page where, there's a Happy New Year, there's stuff in February, March, all the way down the line. And what you can do is build the list once and build your templates one time for each month. And basically, anybody on that list, all the homeowners in your farm will just get one card a month for the year. And the cards, Josh, are 39 cents each if you're on our upgraded plan. So 39 cents times 12 cards a month, you're right around $4 and 68 cents or something like that to hit a homeowner 12 times for the year.
Yeah, there are so many reasons why I love this platform. The affordability, like how cheap you can send these out. The functionality of being able, like, I'm sending for land, parcels of land, I'm sending postcards, just listed postcards to all the neighbors, and it literally takes me minutes. I upload a picture, I put a super simple message on the back, and bang, it goes. I've sold 3 parcels of land in the last 3 months from, I don't know, less than $100 worth of postcards.
Awesome. Yeah, so we do have the card builder here. So Josh, I imagine you might be going into this card builder and just uploading something.
Yep, I just upload, in my case, for a just listed, I'm uploading a picture of the parcel of land. If you've got a property, just put a picture of the front, the front of the property, or or maybe the back if that's if it's got a stunning view or something like that. But I'm literally just, and if people are curious, I'll even log into my account and show how I've been using it when we get to Q&A. Which, by the way, if you have questions or thoughts or ideas, go ahead and share those in the comments or the Q&A box. If you're watching here through Zoom, you can use the Q&A box. But if you're watching in the group, go ahead and leave it in the comments.
Cool. Yeah. So, in the demo here, I just kind of picked one of our templates. We do have a real estate section, but you would just pick the just listed property, upload it directly, go to the next step. It'll just ask you to verify that you're okay with the design. Takes a second to render sometimes. We're on a webinar. Save and continue. And then here's where you start to type your message. So this is an example of sort of the one-off just listed sending outside of the campaign loop, Josh, right?
Right. Yes. Yep. That's all I was doing.
Yep. So test. And if you wanted to test this as a farming message, if you want to see, hey, if I send 100, if I send 300 cards, how many will respond to a, will you sell your house message? This is the way to go. If you just want fast results and want to spend 10 minutes on it, you type your message here. You can select the handwriting style, by the way. You can set a default or just kind of change them on the fly.
Yep.
And then save and continue. And then it'll actually automatically take you to this map right here. Or you can go to an existing list that you've uploaded in the past. So you just want to send something to your farm, but you already have the farming list in there. You can do that as well. And again, it's just a matter of drawing, finds the addresses. Josh, I don't know if you've ever seen this. I know you're in a little bit of a rural area, so it can be hit or miss. But you do have the option to get some demographic. You can actually buy a list.
I didn't even know that. That's pretty slick.
Yeah, so you can buy a list from within the platform. So there was some cool real estate stuff. I think demography. You see right here we have homeowner. So if somebody's been in their house, you hit the itch cycle, right? They've been in their house 5 to 8 years.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep, and you can pick the zip code, and so we'll do zip 33711. That's my zip code. At length of residence 5 years. Preview list. See if we find. So there's basically, this is actually a third-party API we use, but it'll pull in mailing lists for you, and you'll see 50 addresses is $5, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Huh.
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and you can target businesses and things like that if you want to target. I think businesses targeting those with investment property offers could be a really good way to go. Or you can just upload your CSV file and whatever, so we've got our 87 people, save and continue, and you just continue on. right? You can have a campaign out in just a few minutes. So Josh, I did mention a price, and I guess this will be a good spot because people are going to ask. You can get a totally free account. It'll be 99 cents a card. So if you just want to kind of do everything a la carte, 99 cents, that includes postage. The only thing you won't get with that is the address sniffer feature. I'll be totally transparent. We're using that feature to get people to upgrade. You know the business, right, Josh?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So that's sort of an upgraded feature, but otherwise you can use the platform, all the features for free, and send cards at 99 cents. Or if you do a wholesale account at 99 a month, then your cards are 39 cents a card. We basically make pretty much zero margin on that, includes the postage, and then you get the address sniffer feature. And this sort of works at about, I did the math, it's like 161 cards a month. It like breaks even, you know? Gotcha. So if you're sending a couple hundred a month, it's kind of a no-brainer on the pricing versus the 99, and does good at scale. So that's sort of the flow of building a card. And we'll sneak in, Josh, you said before you didn't do just listed or just sold. So we'll say that we just gave that demo there.
Yep.
And then the final thing I'll bring up, and this is where this is the original intent of this, this product when the idea was germinated and came out. It was to kind of be able to send a follow-up card to somebody who was an online lead. That term cross-channel retargeting or cross-channel remarketing, where they did something online and then they get something physical in the mail. And the way we were originally doing this, and you can still do it this way, was through Facebook lead ads, Josh, which I'm sure you kind of coach about.
Yes, that's our primary, the primary method that we are
it works
and using with our clients right now.
Yep. So, the initial idea was, hey, if I generate a buyer lead or a seller lead and I use that Facebook lead form to collect some address info. By the way, you've probably seen this too. For some reason, if you ask for 10 points of data in that form, the opt-in rates seem to be the same as asking for 2. So it doesn't kill conversions much. You collect all the address info. And then what happens 3 days later, they get a card in the mail that's thanking them for being on your website.
Yeah.
So in terms of a follow-up tactic, one of the biggest complaints with seller leads in the real estate space is, hey, these people opted on my site, I never hear from them. Something like this lets you build a relationship on autopilot. You can send a card at 3 days and then use the campaigns to send it at 30 days, 90, and sort of build a farm through digital first so that you get the initial intent of the click and then follow up via direct mail here. And the moral of that story is you can tie in with Thanks.io through Zapier.com, which I'm sure if you're teaching lead ads, a lot of your audience has heard about.
Yep, 100%.
Or some sophisticated CRMs. I'll give Conversion and KV Core a plug here and say that we do have a webhooks feature that will allow you to push your seller leads out as part of campaigns as well. A little more sophisticated. I don't know. You do some stuff with Lion Desk, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have webhooks yet, but you'll probably find that a lot of CRMs have an API feature that will let you kind of push the data out and then interface with us through Zapier or through the webhook directly.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, were there any questions, Josh? I know I've been just talking here.
I think, Lisa said, how would you differentiate between birthdays and closing anniversaries? I think you'd have to choose one or the other.
Yeah, I would build a campaign based on one or the other. So, and both are relevant here. If you do a birthday campaign, you might as well send a year-round holiday cards too. Set up 3 or 4 of those, and that's your touches for the year on your past clients.
Yeah. I think that was it.
Cool. So let me just kind of give a demo of how the platform works. I think I gave like the one-off sending demo here with the send postcards the way you do it, Josh, for your lots.
Yeah.
Right. So we kind of got that down. Structurally, the way the system works is it all starts with mailing lists, which is why this is up at the first part. Again, you can create lists by uploading your existing CSV files. The CSV upload, by the way, we spent so much time on it. It's just so smooth. I'm going to brag on our developers. It really works well in 99% of the time. You can just manually add addresses. You can select from the map. Or he put this create retargeting list. That's that address sniffer thing I showed you in the beginning, right? So where you get that snippet of code and you can add people that way. Then what you're going to do is you're going to create message templates. So you would go in and say, hey, I need to have a template for FSBOs. Hi, just curious, if I bought you a buyer, would you be willing to pay me a commission? I think that's like the stop line, isn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Something like that. So you would put like FSBO day one, right? That would be your FSBO day one, client, company, right? Save that. I would just do FSBO day two. And it actually leaves the last thing you wrote in there, which I find to be useful, right? Because it'll leave your signature and stuff. I still trying to sell on your own. Is that getting old yet? Something like that. Call me. So whatever you would do, but you can see quickly you could build a quick little 2, 5, 10 card campaign just for FSBOs or whatever you're doing. So those will all be added to the library here. You can see them down at the bottom. Then I would just do my image templates. Creating image templates, now you can create them through the postcard builder up at the top right, or you can just upload your own stuff, right? So I'm gonna assume most of you guys know how to get an image and upload it. So you would just pick, I'll just pick this one. We'll assume that I've uploaded this. So once this is here, it is here. And the reason I'm clicking to look at it, I wanted to remember what I called it when I do the campaign demo. So I just wanted to remember that. Another thing, guys, not to distract, you can also send cards by email, Josh.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it's a little, we have some documentation on it, but, say you meet somebody out and about, you just want to send them, a quick email, you put their address in the subject line, and you can put it'll send like a default card of yours. Just put that in the back of your head. There's some applications where that might be useful. So we have our image templates, our message templates built, and now we can construct those campaigns that I started to show you there in the beginning. So I would do my FSBO list. I'll just use a test list for that. My message template would be FSBO 1. My image template would be, I'll just use still want to sell. And then my sending style would be just like sending an email drip. In this case, I would do days after added, 1 day. If I want to send a card on day 3 to that same list, I pick it again. You know what I mean? I pick another image, another message, days after added, 5. Pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
So the campaigns feature lets you do lots of powerful stuff. Remember, it's all built on the mailing list. So I could also send, a Merry Christmas card to everybody on that mailing list if I wanted by just picking, holiday instead. So lots of flexibility with the campaigns. We use it internally. People who sign up for things. If you go to the site and you click allow address and things like that, you'll get a card. But like I said, I don't want you to do that yet. I want you to use Josh's link for a number of reasons. It'll allow me to make sure that you get your 10 cards free. It'll also let me know that you were in real estate and do some targeted tips and tricks just for you. So if you could use, don't rush. If you could use this link to sign up, and of course, Josh will just let me know how cool you are for letting me do this, and I can credit you for it.
Right
so
on.
We'll be able to track.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Lisa asked about, and we will do some recon on this, but Lisa asked about Zapier versus LionDesk, because LionDesk had sometime in the last year created a direct integration with Facebook lead ads, and so a lot of our folks who were using Zapier aren't anymore. So we'll check into that. We'll do some recon on that.
I'm pretty sure you could shoot it straight from LionDesk through Zapier, can't you?
Well, or you could, yes. Well, so Zapier will definitely work. I think what she was asking is if we could get it to work without Zapier. In other words,
yeah,
just with LionDesk and the webhook concept.
Yeah, do some recon. I'd be curious to know if they're building webhooks. My guess is, since conversion and KV Core are the gold standard,
yeah,
that they'll copy us sooner or later. I'm giving a plug there. But, yep.
Listen, nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Let's see here. Somebody asked if this was taped. Yep. So because we're streaming it into the group, as soon as we're done, it'll be there on replay for everyone. For those that are just listening, you can get the 10 cards free at clientalchemist.com/thanks for thanks.io. And just because I mentioned it, I'll show my my cards. I mean, super simple. And I haven't even, admittedly, I have not even scratched the surface of what I could be doing with the platform, but I plan on doing more of that. Order history, I think. Can I find it under order history? Yeah.
Yep. Can I see your screen?
Oh, I don't know. Can you? I hope. Oh.
If not, I'll go into the group. That might be why.
Nope. I think now maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blank screen. Okay. So these are how simple mine are. It's literally an image, a screen capture image of the property, and then can I see? Oh, would the details show the wording of it? Maybe not.
It should. That one looked like. Remember, we had an issue. I remember with one of your orders at one point.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Look at one that shipped.
If I click on it, is that
maybe? I just haven't done this in a while. It should be in there. It should also be in your templates. Sorry.
See. Yeah, no, that's okay. Well, this.
What you did just click was there's a little bit of any address you click in the system now will show you like a reverse lookup.
Sure. This is funny. I haven't saved any of them. Huh. But here's the message that I put. It literally was like, just curious. What did I say? Just curious. Do you know anybody that might be interested in this parcel, in this land parcel for sale? Call or text me at this number. It was literally that.
Josh, if you go back to where the order was, order history.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so weird. And click on details. There we go. You see where it says back image in the middle column?
Oh yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Of course, that one does. I just did it and show.
Oh, hold on. Maybe it's this particular order.
No, it worked. I just did it on my screen.
Let's grab this here. Come on.
Of course, live. Yep.
Never fails, right?
Yeah.
Oh, regardless, right. I'll find, for those of you who are curious. But my point is, it wasn't anything even remotely, difficult to model. It was literally, hey, just curious, do you know anybody who might be interested in this property? Call or text me at this number. And I've sold 3 from those postcards, 3 parcels of land from those postcards in the last like 3 or 4 months, maybe 4.
Yeah, you're bringing up a really important point, and this is something we wrestle with in support with banks, because we get a lot of people who want to they obsess and they spend a lot of time wanting to do a really high production value postcard, for professionalism and branding.
Yeah.
And I think what you're sending is it just feels like, hey, this is a legit guy just like me. It's not a marketing message. It feels pure. Yeah.
And listen, if you want to put a nice fancy image on the front, that's fine. And Ryan, I think there was a template in there of like a fancy looking just listed front image. And that's fine, but don't let that stop you from taking action, right? Like, don't let that slow you down from getting the word out, because simply getting the word out sometimes is all it takes. Just making people aware that this thing is for sale is all it takes sometimes. So lots of great uses for this. Extremely affordable and extremely easy to use.
On your cards, were you telling them the price of the lot? I assume most people called you because they were curious.
Yeah. No, I was not.
Yes.
And I didn't get slammed with calls. But I got buyers. You know, I got there were the people that called or texted were interested. You know, I'd be very curious. Obviously, just listed and just sold cards. I mean, that's been around for forever and ever. This makes it extremely easy to do that. I mean, literally, if you have a property that you just recently sold, you can go in here and create a just sold campaign, send it out to the you know, a radius, or you can draw whatever criteria you want around the address and have that out in literally minutes. And you can, all it needs to be is a picture of the front of the house with a sold sign on the front, and on the back, hey, you know, we just sold your neighbor's property at XYZ address. Who do you know that's thinking about selling? Now's a great time. Call or text me at this number. Bang.
And the calls you're going to get is, how much did you sell it for?
Yep.
And can I get the same number?
Yep. So lots of uses for this, both sort of like, you know, the campaigns I love, and then also the one-off sort of marketing strategies that you can use with it, with just listed, just sold, and things of that nature. So check it out, give it a try, kick the tires, go to clientalchemist.com/thanks. I'm sure we're going to get most or more questions and comments and so forth. And if something comes in that I can't answer, I'll get with Ryan and we'll get you an answer one way or another.
Yeah, just tag me in your group. I think I'm in there, so I'll pop over.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So Ryan, thank you so much for hopping on and for sharing this awesome platform that we can all use and should all use and leverage. And you know, maybe we'll have you on again sometime real soon.
Great. Thanks a lot, Josh.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Ryan. Take care.